grandmother only ever wore one perfume, and it was a classic. But perfume designer Kilian Hennessey, the dashing heir to the famous Cognac family, says these days fragrance is like fashion. You can change it as often as you change your clothes. I caught up with Kilian Hennessey during his recent visit to Bangkok. Well, Kilian, welcome to Bangkok, your first trip here, I believe.
It is true, my first trip.
Now,
Thank you.
Asia is a very exciting place, I think, for luxury products, isn't it? You must be saying that.
Everybody says that Asia is really the place to be for luxury. But unfortunately, up until today, perfume is not so much the first product that comes into the mind when you think about Asia. You know, I think things are changing right now, but traditionally Asia is more a skincare market than a perfume market.
I would have to agree with you there. I mean, aroma is very special. It's very treasured in Asia. But perfume has been very much a European thing. But we are seeing that change. And we're seeing a lot of very high-end brands sort of just slowly now coming into the market and doing well.
I certainly do hope so.
Now, you have a very famous family name.
Yeah.
Obviously, the tradition back to your grandfather, and prior to that was cognac, wasn't it? And
it is, for 2.5 centuries now. And I switched to perfume almost 20 years ago now. Probably when I think about it, because perfume is close enough to cognac to feel comfortable, but far enough to keep family at a distance.
Yes. But both beautiful products, obviously, and it's not a big stretch, is it, to go from one to the other?
It's still an alcohol, and the blending is actually very similar to cognac. But otherwise, it's a totally different approach, because in the world of perfume, we have 3,000 materials to work from. So we have 3,000 notes and all the combination and accords possible. We don't have that variety in cognac.
Now, I know for me, I feel naked if I don't have perfume on. It's always the last thing I put on before I walk out the door.
Me too.
And do you find that for every woman and for men as well, it's very much a part of their wardrobe? And it should be a part of their wardrobe.
I think it should be. In the same way, you know, when you think about your grandmother, they always had one perfume, and they had one perfume for all their life. And I think today things are changing, and I don't know why. I mean, you don't wear the same jacket or the same shoes or the same bags every day. So perfume is an accessory, the same way shoes, bags and jewelry is. I don't know why you should be having one scent and only one scent. I actually like to play with scents, and I have a wardrobe of scent. And depending on the mood I am in, depending on the weather, depending on the way I'm dressed, I don't want the same scent, you know? If I'm in jeans and t-shirt on a weekend, or if I go out on a tuxedo, I want a totally different scent.
Yeah, and I would agree with you there. And sometimes softer during the day and a little more potent during the evening.
Absolutely.
Now, for you, how would you describe your perfume? Do you have a particular sort of flavor in your mind when you create something?
So, you know, back in the 90s and all the way to today, perfume industry has been overpowered with all the 90s were all about transparent notes. So perfumes that almost smell like water. And then for the past 10 years, it has been dominated by overly sugary notes, which both I don't like. You know, I try to go back to the traditional way of making perfume back in the 20s, 30s, 40s. You know, you have to think about the great ages of Guerlain and Coty and Houbigant, even, you know, Chanel or Guerlain or Dior back in the 40s, 50s. So the way perfume was conceived at that time was in the traditional pyramid structure with a real top accord, then a hard accord, and a heavy dry down base that would allow perfumes to really stay. You know, you hear so many people saying today, perfume don't stay anymore.
Yes, it doesn't last.
It doesn't last. Well, my entire perfumery was to go back to, in a way, the origin of perfumery, a perfumery that lasts.
It's like, I guess, with great wine and great spirit too. If the product is beautifully made, it should last.
And you know what? The comparison with wine is actually a great comparison, because when you do transparent perfume, it's a bit like having a very easy Sancerre in the white wine or a Beaujolais in the red wine. You know, it's easy. it doesn't have a lot of body, and it's easy to drink. Now, if you want to go to a more mature wine that has a more full body, maybe the flavors are going to be strong at beginning, but when you learn, then you learn how to appreciate, and the more you drink, the more you like those complex harmonies.
Yes.
And my perfumery is about that. It's about complex harmonies.
Now you've got your launch coming up for your new product here in the Emporium in Thailand.
Absolutely.
So have you had any sort of response or great interest in advance of this launch coming up?
Not yet, no. All the team was really waiting for my coming to really kick off the launch.
That's going to be exciting to see.
It is. So we have an event at the French Embassy tomorrow night, and the interviews. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a great launch.
Now, you've talked about obviously the perfume and the product, but the packaging for you is obviously very important.
It really is, because there's a trend over the past 10 years which is called niche perfumery. I hate the word because niche means house for dogs in French. So I really never like this category. But there's a category of perfume brand that has developed over the past 10 years, which is an emphasis on quality of the raw materials. But all this category has been, in a way, undervaluating the bottle and the packaging, saying all the value needs to be put back on the perfume itself, and really in order to show that the quality was switched into the juice, they kind of let the bottle and the packaging be very simple. And again, when you think about the origin of perfumery and the late 19th century and first beginning of the 20th century, at that time, the bottle, the box, everything was as important as the perfume. And even a perfumer like Aimé Guerlain or Jacques Guerlain, back like 100 years ago, when he would create L'Heure Bleue or when he would create Shalimar, he would go see René Lalique and ask René Lalique to make a specific bottle that would express everything he envisioned for his perfume. Shalimar for him was the first Oriental perfume, and the bottle looks like a fan, like an Oriental fan. L'Heure Bleue was his love for Paris and love for a woman, and Lalique thought about doing a heart, but upside down as the cap. But without the story of love, René Lalique would have never thought about doing an upside down heart as a cap. So since the beginning, the art of perfume and the art of a glass or the art of the bottle were always combined, and all telling a story that is captured by the name. So all my perfumery is really going back to that. That's why my names are so semantic in a way.
Yes, very romantic too. And so each perfume is actually telling a story too.
Absolutely.
With its packaging and its bottles. But you were right. Actually, when I was a child looking at my mother's perfume collection, I always used to stand and stare at the bottles because they were
gorgeous.
They were beautiful. And so tell me a little bit about this one here.
So it is a scent called Voulez-vous coucher avec moi, which is part of a collection called In the Garden of Good and Evil, which is a metaphor of the Garden of Adam and Eve.
Yes.
So we all know the story,
Hence the snake.
Hence the snake who tempted Eve to bite the apple. And we know that the story is said to be the origin of the sin of flesh.
Yes.
So at one point, Adam and Eve do couche together.
So this is a very cheeky perfume then.
It's an indecent proposal.
Yes.
Women have to be careful. We have to be very careful about who they say the name of the perfume to.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Can I have a look at that?
Absolutely. So the whole also idea behind the brand is that for me it had to be real luxury. And for me real luxury could not be disposable. When you think about perfume, when you finish with your bottle, you just throw your bottle. What do you want to do with an empty bottle? And the boxes you throw it as well. Here, everything is either refillable or reusable. So when you open the box, I really saw the box as a clutch. So you have the bottle, of course, but the foam is removable.
What a great idea.
So you can reuse the box as a clutch. So it fits your phone, your mascara, your lipstick, all the essentials for the night. And the bottle is also refillable. So when you finish with your bottle, you just need to ask for a refill, and the refill is half the price of the original purchase.
That's a wonderful idea.
So we really think ourselves as an eco-luxe
Yes.
brand.
So it's not going to run out. It's something that you just keep topping up and you have forever.
Exactly.
And this is the way perfume should be, actually. And this one here is a little.
This one is going to be our next launch. Will be in May or June, I believe. It's called Moonlight in Heaven, and it's actually inspired by a traditional Thai dessert, which is the sticky rice mango coconut.
Mango sticky rice is an extremely popular dessert and
Exactly.
very delicious. Yes.
And I used the same case to do the clutch, but because it's called Moonlight in Heaven, here the Art Deco jewel piece, which is done with mother of pearl, symbolizes the moon, reflecting on the sea, done with blue enamels, and the ondulation on the sea.
Now this one's a lot more masculine, yes, looking.
Maybe a little darker, a little
Yes,
sexier, maybe.
Yes. Very nice lined, actually. This is a bit more bling, and
Depending on your mood and your outfit for the
yes.
night.
And I think for Asia, the snake too is obviously part of one of the Chinese signs as well. So quite special. I mean, for you, do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite perfume?
I don't, because actually when I release the perfume, I'm really happy with it. And at one point I'm always thinking, oh, I could have done better. So in a way, the next perfume is always the one I think is going to be the most perfect one. And up until it's on the market, and then I'm like, next one will be better.
I think they're all fabulous, though.
Thank you.
And for you, what's your ultimate objective?
It's really to create a luxury brand, luxury lifestyle brand. We have started doing scented jewelry. It will not be launched in Thailand right now. We first want to install the perfume, but probably next year we'll start introducing the jewelry. And we're also going to launch a home collection to scent all different rooms in your home. Your living room, your bedroom, your kids' bedroom, because we also have to think about other ways to scent a home without the danger of lighting a candle. So we have thought about a new technique or new ways of scenting your home, your desk environment, your bathroom. I mean, there's many things actually we can do.
Absolutely. And scent is actually very conducive to the right scent will actually help you work better. Hotels use it quite successfully. So
Absolutely.
why not in the home as well?
Yeah, because at one point, the scent makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel at home, That's the first thing I do when I come home, is I light the candle just to create an environment where I know I'm safe.
Yes. Oh, it's fabulous. Well, it's great to meet you.
Thank you.
It's
you
always
too.
good to meet the creator behind the product too, because there's a lot of people don't realize there's so much of a process that goes on.
It's a very long process.
And
It actually takes 18 months to create one scent.
Wow. Yeah, it's quite a process.
It is quite a process.
But the end product is just very special.
Thank you.
And thank you. The exotic Kilian perfume range is now available at the Emporium shopping centre in the heart of Bangkok. Go ahead, have yourself.